Okay, don't know about how to change the tax procedure? Any one of you knows here, except the Piru Paksha. If while posting the invoice, correct? So you require to is mandatory to enter the tax, correct? Any one of you knows about that process? How to check which tax procedure is assigned to your company code or whatever for your country?
Mayur, I do not know how to assign the
Mm,
tax code to our company code, but I
mm,
know where we can change it using the T code OBBG.
mm.
We can find the tax procedure for India. In position, we have to put IN. Then we can see the right tax procedure is there, or we have to change it.
Okay, so today we will see how to check how many tax procedures are available and how to assign the tax procedure to your country. Okay, sometimes this is in a practice session. So someone is going to create a new one and going to assign. Okay,
Yes.
but in a real scenario, so we are not touching this part of a tax procedure and all. Okay, so it is handled by the finance team totally. Okay, we are not going to touch how to just for the
Yes.
understanding, for just general knowledge or how to change that in real time also. Sometimes it will be if required. That's adding your knowledge only. Okay, but don't go for the changing that. Just if you are going to face any issues, just follow the process and do that. Okay, don't to create a new one and all. Whatever the standard it is given by the SAP that we are going to set there. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, you able to smash me? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll go for the SAP screen directly. And right now what we can do, we will check with the invoicing first. Okay. If any kind of invoicing will be available there, we will see first which tax code is coming. Okay. So this is the screen of the enter incoming invoice for the company code as a H100. Okay. So where this H100 company we have maintained for the Indian based scenario, correct? So here, this is tax procedure, correct? So whatever the tax, input tax, output tax, whatever CGST, IGST, whatever we want to enter, okay? So these we need to select from the this list, okay? So right now, so the Indian tax procedure will be assigned to our company code here, okay, or a country code, okay, India. So that's why this all the taxes will be come, okay? So this is mainly created by the finance team. Okay, so for just understanding how to do the changes in the tax procedure, sorry, if you want to know, so I will just show you how to change the tax procedure. Okay, so go to the configuration part of the SPRO reference IMG. Okay, then you can go for the financial accounting here. Okay, so it is done by the finance team. It will comes under the finance part. Then you can go for the again financial accounting and global settings. Then here come as a tax on a sales and purchase. Okay, whatever the tax which is based on the different state wise or whatever the international as well. Okay, so whatever the tax procedure they will be applicable, it will be comes under these all things. Okay, so then we can go for the basic settings of the tax here. Okay, so here like a pricing procedure, the same tax procedure is also created. Okay, so here the check, we can click on the check calculation of a procedure. Double click on that, and here we can find the define the procedure of the tax here. Okay, so like the same pricing procedure or anything else. So the whatever the country wise, all the tax procedure will be come here, like a limit tax, domestic tax procedure. Okay, India taxation for the area and improve, the GST India procedure for a KP, Sony output tax. Multiple tax procedure will be applicable here. Okay, or available here. Sales tax, and then for a different Argentina, Austria, Australia, Belgium. Most of the as per the country specific, all the tax procedure which is given by the standard given by the SCP. Okay, so we will see which is the standard for the Indian based scenario. Okay, so as per the customization, so the finance team is working for that. They can create the their tax procedure. Okay, so here TAX IAA, this is the standard tax procedure which is used by the Indian business scenarios, okay, which is given by the SCP. So this is the tax procedure. We can just copy this just for the understanding, okay. And if you want to apply or assign this tax procedure to your country specific, okay, so here is the option available under the same node of a tax and sales purchase basic settings, and here is the option available assign country to the calculation procedure. Just click on that. So each and every country which is available in that SAP, so they have the specific tax procedure here, okay, like a, so different countries have their different tax procedure, correct? So right now, if you want to see for the India, just click on the position and click on it. Okay, so if I can just click on that, and already the taxing, which is a standard tax procedure, it will be apply here. Okay, so as per this tax procedure, whatever the tax codes and all, it will becomes while creating the PO or while entering the invoice also, it will become. Okay, so right now what I can do, I can just change this tax procedure into the tax. Okay, we will see how it will be applicable. Okay, so I just going to change, which is a standard one, to the Japanese I have assigned there. And I'm going to save. So how the system will be here, we are going to check. Okay, all are clear about this? What is the path for that? How to check the tax procedure?
Yes.
Okay, then we can go for the invoicing and we will check how the tax will be coming, because we have changed the tax procedure, correct? So right now, as per the changes of will be done, so the tax procedure or whatever the tax will be coming here, it will be going to be changed automatically. Okay? So initially the B0 will be the zero tax. Here will be the VAT is coming. If I can again go and reset as a standard one, which is for the Indian scenario, we can again go and check that tax procedure here. Okay. We'll firstly go and check. I can just copy this procedure and going to assign for the Indian country. Okay. Click on the version, you can find for the India. I'm just going to change the tax procedure here. Okay. So I'm resetting standard one. In that manner, you can just do the changes if required during the invoice posting and all. Okay. So the data was saved. You can go, come back and check again. So during the invoice posting or as well as during the creation of the purchase order, also we require the tax, correct? So info record, whatever. So right now, okay, just need to refresh invoicing scheme. So as per the Indian business scenario, the tax codes are coming. Clear the difference between the tax procedure of a Indian based scenario and other countries, correct? So the tax code again comes V0 as a zero tax code, V1, whatever the difference just shown here, correct? All are clear about this, the tax procedure error. If this is taxes are not coming during the creation of the purchase order or the duration of the creation of the invoice posting and all, so just do that changes and try to assign the standard tax procedure to our country. So it will be applicable for the invoice posting as well as the duration of the creation of the purchase order or info record we are going to maintain. That time these taxes will be come there. Okay. So don't hesitate if taxes are not coming. Someone is going to the practice and testing the data. So that's why they are going to customize the tax procedure and assigning to the Indian business based business scenario there. Okay. So don't worry about that. All are clear about that? Or any doubts regarding this?
Hello.
Yes.
So tax also including in 9%, 18%, depend on material base application code.
So that tax procedure we are not going to handle. Okay, so it will be totally handled by the finance team. Okay, so whatever it will be available in the practicing, so that we are going to change. Okay, so in actual, so whatever the taxation and also it will be totally handled by the finance team, or sometimes the taxation team is also available there, so they can actually apply for that and whatever the 5%, 10%, 12%. So they are going to decide the tax procedure and all. Okay.
Okay.
That's not our work. Just for the understanding in our this practice server, how to change that. Just show you for the understanding purpose. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other doubts? No. Okay. then we can go for the next. Okay, so last time we are just not covered over some kind of the test cases we have. Okay, so we are just going to take up that. So last time also we have not recorded. Okay, so these are the some test cases. The base unit of measure and the order unit are the different, correct? So how you can issue the material? Anyone knows? If our the base unit of a measure is in a liter, okay, and the ordering unit is in a drum or barrel, correct? So at the time of the issuing the material to the production order or to the anything else, so how we can do which ordering unit we are going to use? Unit of measure, base unit of measure, or the order unit we are going to use? Anyone knows? We have purchased the material, okay? So the at the time of the creation of the material master, we have the base unit of the measure as a liter. Okay, just take example of a oil here again. Okay, so at the time for material creation, we have put the base unit of in a liter. Afterwards, at the ordering unit, we are kept as a drum. So we have received the material. Right now, we want to supply that material or issue that goods to the production line. Okay, so which unit we are going to use?
Base unit of measure.
Okay, why this order unit of measure not we are going to use? What is the difference between that?
Order will be done in a
Hmm.
huge
Mhm.
quantity. Whatever the requirement, based on the requirement, from the base unit of measurement, we can issue.
Okay, so whatever the stock keeping unit is always as a base unit of measure. Okay, so what you are going to put as a value creation of the material. Okay, so this order unit is only limited for the purchasing side, but whatever the transactions will be done inside the plant, so always this base unit of measure will be used there. Okay, so today we are going to see how does this case will be done. Okay, so we can create a one material which has a different base unit of measure and order unit is different. Okay, then we can receive this material. We will check the material movement and then we are going to issue the material to the production department. Okay, as per their requirement in the liter or whatever. Okay, so the step by step process we are going to see here. Okay, so firstly we can just go and create a one material in MM01. Okay, standard raw material we can select here. All are clear about this? Why? What is the difference between that base unit of measure and order unit, and what is the stock keeping unit SKU? Any doubts in that? 3 units. Firstly, we can just create a one material. Okay. So just put it there. Okay, so here this is the base unit of measure. Okay, so here I can just put as a liter and material we can select any here, no issues. Okay, so right now the purchasing I can just put. Okay, so this is the order unit here. Okay, so which order unit I am going to select here? For the liter, just take example of oil we can put here. Okay, so we can keep this unit as a order unit into the drum here. Okay, so drum we are just going to put this order unit into the drum here. Okay, just select that. Okay, so just this is the difference whatever we are going to select here for the order unit. And so right now the system is asking for the conversion factor here. Okay, so just 1 drum is equal to the we are putting as a 200 liters. Okay, so whatever the oil drum, water drum, whatever you are saying to the chemicals, okay, liquid chemicals, whatever. So in the pharmaceutical industries, most of the times the chemicals are comes under the drums. Okay, so liquid chemicals, so they are going to keep this as a order unit and a base unit of material is different. Okay, so just put as a conversion factor 1 drum is equal to the 200 liters. Okay, we will see that how this conversion will be happening duration of the creation of the purchase order here. Okay, just enter the things whatever the required and try to create the material. enter the valuation, and just put as a known average price, and we are just creating a material here. Okay. This is the material which we have created. Just put here. Then right now what we are going to do, we are going to create a one purchase order for this material directly. Okay. You can select one vendor. Put our organization structure. That's it. Material. Okay, we just put as a plant and storage locations. Okay. So the ordering unit, it will be automatically comes here as a drum. Okay. So not a liter. Order unit will come as a drum, whatever we have mentioned at the time of the creation of the purchase order. So it will be comes here automatically as a. Okay. So whatever the price of that drum. Okay. So we can put as 1,000 rupees for a one drum. So whatever here it will be asking for the price of the drum only here. Okay. Not for the one kind of a liters and all. Correct. So it will be asking for the price of a drum only here. Okay. So you all are clear or any doubts in this? All are clear?
Yes.
Okay, so we can put as a pure quantity as a 10 drum. So after that, so how many material we are going to receive after maintaining the or ordering the 10 drums? Anyone knows?
1,000 liter.
Correct. So we have maintained the conversion factor as a 200 liters per one drum. Correct. So right now we are going to order the 10 drums. Okay, so 10 into the 200, 2000 liters oil we are going to receive. Okay, just check the purchase order. Right now, no any issues. Just save this purchase order. Okay, for the reference, we can just copy this. Next, what we are going to do? We are going to receive the material. Correct. We are going to do the GRM. So what is the ticket for that GR?
MIG.
Migo MIGO.
Correct. So we can use the MIGO equal to receive the material. Okay. Goods shipped along with the purchase order number and just put here. Okay. So at the time of the receiving also. So whatever the
Order unit only it will consider.
correct. So what it will be putting, drum it will be going to put, correct. And the stock keeping unit as always as a whatever the base unit of measure. Okay. So this is the difference. Okay. So the 2000 liters we are going to receive. But in actually, so at the time of the GR, it will be taking the order unit value here. Okay. So whatever the storage locations, purchase order and partner, it will be the same. Okay. If someone has done as this delivery note, it's a mandatory. I can just put here. Okay, just click on the check item. Before going to receive, what we can do, we are going to check the stock of this material. Okay, so what is the ticker for that? How to check the stock? Okay, MNB is the ticker to check the individual stock of a material. Okay, so right now we have the another stock of a 2000 liters. Okay, no zero stock at a unrestricted. Okay, once we can receive the material, so that stock will be automatically comes under the unrestricted use. Okay, just check it once and post it. Okay, right now we have done the GRN of that material. We can again go and refresh the stock. So this 2000 will be comes here as a unrestricted, but we have to order for the 10 drums, correct? But stock is showing as a 2000 liters, whatever. Why? Because order unit, what we have mentioned as a conversion factor. So that's why this is will be the come into the picture. Okay, if you want to see whatever the materials movement here is the options available called as a just right click on the this stock, click on the material movement, So whatever the movements it will be happen, it will be showing here. Okay. So for 101 moment, how many quantity we have received? 10 drums we have received, correct? So any doubts till any in this? Okay, so right now we have the stock of 2000 liters, correct? But our order it as a drum, and right now the production department, so they require the 20 liters of the oil. So how we can issue or how we can supply the material? Which unit we can use to supply the material to the production team or maintenance team?
Goods issue.
What? Hello? Can you repeat once again?
Production order, sir.
Not a production order. This is only for the
Goods issue.
Goods issue, correct? I want to issue the material to the production maintenance department. Okay. So which unit we can use here?
Base unit.
Base unit.
Okay. You can just check here. You can just copy the material. You can see, okay. So might be required. Okay, so we can just put the material. Okay, so don't worry about that. What is the goods issue and all? Okay, just for the understanding today, we are going to cover what is the goods issue and all. Okay, so if any kind of department is they require the material. Okay, so for the goods issue for the cost center and all, so in that manner we are going to issue the material. Okay, so right now how many quantity? For 20 liters, I want to supply that material. Okay, I can just put as 20 liters. Where? This is the plant. This is the storage location. And upon the assignment can take it as a cost center. I can just put here. Okay, so right now don't worry about that. What is the cost center? Okay, this is the unit, base unit of measurement as a 20 liter stock keeping unit here. Okay, so whatever the stock we have keep into the liters, so that's why whatever the material we are going to issue to anyone, so it will be always comes under the whatever the stock keeping unit we have using there. Okay, so just check. Okay, so no any issues right now. Posting. So the whatever the material consumed, the 20 liters into our stock will be going to the minus. Okay, so again go and check the refresh the stock. So right now the stock will be reduced by the 20 liters, correct? So as we have issued the 20 liters to the production or whatever the which departments they are required, we have issued that material to the team there. Okay, so always in mind whatever the unit what we have maintained as a stock keeping unit or a base unit of measure is always used there. Okay, and whatever the ordering unit is always only for the purchasing side. Clear? Or any doubts in this?
Clear.
Okay, then we can go for the next test case, whatever we are going to see here. Okay, so that they ask to you. So in a single purchase or acquisition, correct? So if we have the multiple line items as a 10 or 20, so is it possible to create a multiple purchase order with reference to the single purchase acquisition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we can see this how to, okay. If we have the multiple line items in a single purchase acquisition, and we have the all the line items are the different vendors. Okay, so how we can manage and how we can convert that purchase acquisition into the multiple purchase order there. Okay, this is the very simple. Okay, as for understanding, we will see that also. If we can go and check for the creation of the purchase requisition and 51 and so here we can just create a purchase requisition for a multiple line items. Okay, so what we can do, we can create a purchase requisition for TP10 plant. Okay, other than TP10 we can use. Okay, so AK01 your plant na Anuj, because for the TP10 that background
AK02.
AK02. Okay, for TP10 we have done the schedule or batch job na, so that's why the automatic queue will be going to create. Okay, instead of that, what I am going to create, just select the material here. Okay, so all are the material, correct? You have maintained properly, Anuj, these all materials.
Yes.
Okay, okay, we'll see this. One item added. Again, we can select the second line item. Okay, so three materials what we have selected here. Whatever the quantity we can just put as a 100, 500, whatever, just randomly we can keep. Plant as a K02. 02 for each and which storage locations, Anuj?
RM00.
It's 00 for all.
Actually, the first material was taken from AK01.
Yes.
You can delete that line item also here. Okay, just select that, delete it. K02, okay. So if you don't record any kind of materials, because this showing error, solution price. Okay, now issues. Okay, another if you want to add the multiple line. Okay, so in that manner, if you want to delete any kind of a material, so the options is available from the purchase requisition here. Okay, so then if you want to add another material, so three items we can see. Okay, so in single purchase order, we have meant creating the purchase requisition for the three line items here. Okay, so you can just check these ones. Okay, and we are going to create this purchase requisition. Okay, and just copy this purchase requisition for the reference. And we are going to create a multiple purchase order for this one single purchase equation there. Okay, so just for the M21N. Okay, so which vendor you have maintained, Anuj, for the which purchase order you are going to use?
Purchase of AK02.
This is also AK02. Purchase order
Yes.
AK02. Purchase 02, whatever you have mentioned.
AK02. AK2, sorry. Yes, yes.
Okay, so whatever the purchase requisition, we are just going to the document will be on. And let's see which we have created recently. Purchase requisition. Okay, so the 41 we have created, correct? Just select this and click on the adopt. Okay, so whatever the price, okay, we need to maintain. And the below two items, I don't want to purchase from the this vendor. Okay, so from this, I just going to delete this line item. Only the for one single purchase material, we are going to create a purchase order for this material. Okay, so in that manner you can manage. Okay, so just check any error into the system right now. No any error. Just check and save the purchase order. Okay, so the vendor is here 1872. Okay, so for the first material in the purchase requisition, we have created the purchase order. Okay, so the differently we are going to select the three different vendors for the three different materials. Okay, in that manner you can go and create the purchase order for the different vendors for the different material in a single purchase requisition. Okay, so again we can do the second line item for the purchase requisition or the okay, select two. Okay, so we can select the another vendor. Okay, consignment no issues. We can select this. You can select the purchase
One
requisition.
second, Mayu. Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt.
Yes.
One more easier method is there.
Which one?
You are able to see that arrow mark before that PRN, no? PRN number.
Here.
No, not that. Below only. When you see that a small arrow mark, yeah, click on that. Yeah, you can select whichever the
Okay, got
number.
it. Yeah.
It will be
This
here.
also we can push cell cancel. So we can line item directly adopt there, correct?
Yeah, correct, Mayu.
Okay, so we can just select the line item also and
We can avoid deleting the unwanted. Directly we can take whichever way.
31 is there, correct? 150. This is the 30. But it will be showing the 10 line items okay, no issues. Material is for the test, no issues. Okay, so that way also you can directly select the model. Thank you for your knowledge adding. Okay, so in that manner you can just allow and select the second material. Okay, so here we have changed the vendor, correct? So for the each and every line item, we are going to maintain the different vendors for the different line items here. Okay, so in that manner you can just go and create the multiple purchase order for the single purchase requisition there. Okay, so right now the second PO will be created, and the same thing for the third PO also. We are going to select the different vendor for that. Okay, so two PO already we have created. For the last one, we are going to pending the same thing what we are going to do. Again, select the any third vendor for this. So here, which is the option available, we can just select. We need to enter the header data. Okay, so after that we can just select the drop down list and we can select the single item also here. Okay, so click on that and click on the adopt here. Okay, so automatically whatever the material it will be considered which. Okay, so the avoid the deletion part, we can directly single item also we are going to select there. Okay, just enter the price. Save the purchase order. Okay, so in that way we have created the three separate purchase order for the one single purchase requisition there. Okay, towards the different vendors and all. So you are understanding all these, the two cases what we have seen here. All are clear about this?
Yes, Ryan.
Okay, the next what we are going to see. Okay, so initially what we have done, we have created the material. Okay, so right now what we are going to do, we are going to change the material description. Okay, so already we have created the one purchase order for this material, correct, for the base unit of measures and all. Okay, so right now what we are going to do, we are going to directly change the description whatever. Okay, so sometimes so some modification will be done and they want to change the description of the material. Okay, but right now what we are going to do, already we have created the purchase order. Okay, but how the system will be behave if we are going to change the material description. Okay, so for this material we are going to check first initially. Okay, so what is the description of that material in our MM03? we are going to check this material. Okay, so for just that, what we are going to do, we are just going to select the base unit data. So this is the description right now, correct? So right now we want to change, or something will be changes will be happen, and business want to change the description. Okay, so the base unit of measure, whatever in the real case also. So something the length will be okay. So sometime a kind of a rod or some kind of a raw material. Okay, so the description will be changed into the length, or diameter will be reduced or increased, whatever. Correct. So that case, how you can manage? So definitely, new material you are not going to create. Okay, so whatever the valuation and all, it will be already done for that. Correct. So that time the system or the managing team will be asking you to change the description of that material. Okay, so for that, we are going to change the description. Okay, so in MM02, we are going to change the description, and if whenever you are going to create the next or new purchase order or existing purchase order, we are also going to see it will be going to change the description, or we need to do the changes into the next purchase order. Okay, so we'll see that only I'm going to select as a basic data one. So whatever the description will become here. So right now I just want to change the description as a test case 100. I'm not going to say what I want to do. I just want to test. Okay, so right now I just change the description, correct here. Right now I'm going to save this, the material. Okay, so material will be changed. But initially what happened, we have created the purchase order, correct? This is the purchase order we have created. Okay, so we are just going to display this purchase order. Already we have done the GR for this also. Okay, 23 here. Just check the purchase order. So whatever the description will be come here, so it will be not change here, correct? Are you clear? So whatever the description we have changed after the creation of the purchase order, so it will be not going to change. Okay, but right now if we are going to create a new purchase order, that time whatever the changes we have done, it will be come into the picture, correct? So if the changes if you require into the description of the material, definitely you need to create a new purchase order for that. Okay, if we can go and create a new purchase order for that material, so the whatever the changes we have done in the description, it will be come into the picture. Okay, so that is also I'm just going to keep in mind. I'm just going to copy the material for which we have changes the description, correct? Right now, whatever the changes we have done for the description, it will be come into the picture. Okay, so that is a one test case. If sometimes if you required to change the description or any kind of a material changes has been done, so in that manner you can go and paste these changes of the description of any kind of the material there. Okay, this is the how the system will be behave for that, for the changes of the material description and after the creation of the purchase order here. Okay, so right now the next test case whatever. Okay, so what happens sometimes, so whatever the vendor we have, correct, so they are going to change their locations, their address and all sometimes, correct? So as per the their conditions, we are going to update our vendor master, correct? So this is also the one kind of a case. So if we are going to change the vendor address, okay, so before we have the multiple purchase order towards that vendor. So if you want to change to the vendor address, then how the existing purchase order will be changing or not? Okay, so that case also we are going to see here. If we have the existing vendor, okay, so what we can do, we are going to check the MK said one vendor we can select from that for the TP10. Okay, which one is there? Okay, so it will be I don't know. Purchase order is there at now. So we can say the for enterprises. Okay, so this is the vendor Okay, so right now the address of this vendor is a Aurangabad Road, whatever. Okay, so right now the vendor has changed their office or some kind of their production. They have changed their address due to some reasons. Okay, so right now they have given us the new address. We want to change this address. Okay, and we have the multiple purchase order with this vendor already. Okay, if you want to check, I mean to you can check with the ME2L. Okay, we are going to check the purchase order with respect to the vendor. Just enter the key code and give the vendor name. So initially we have the multiple purchase order we have created with this vendor. Okay, so at that time, if we can go and click on the purchase order, the vendor address will be the existing one, correct? The address, if we can go and click, so which will be the existing one. Okay, so right now, so vendor has given the new address, and right now we want to change the vendor address for this into the XK02. We are going to change this vendor address. Okay, to this, we are just going to change the vendor address. Just execute and enter. Okay, right now what we want to change this address as a okay. So in that manner, if you want to change the region or whatever, okay, so you can manage the same things will be applicable. I'm just going to change the vendor address. Okay, right now I'm going to save this. Okay, so the changes has been done. Okay, so right now how the system will be here. Again, we can go for the checking the purchase order, which is the existing with this vendor. Okay, so the overall the addresses will be changed for the all the purchase order or not. We are going to see. Okay. So this is the purchase order. So we are going to check the vendor address in each and every purchase order, how the system will be here, correct? So what is the difference? So whatever the address we have changed, it will be applicable for the existing purchase order also, correct? So each and every, if we are going to check the last date purchase order, okay? So whatever the address, it will be going to change automatically, okay? So whatever the changes we are going to do into the vendor master, it will be applicable for the all the existing POs. But whatever the changes we are going to do into the material master, so it will be going to applicable for the next purchasing order only. Okay. You clear about this all the test cases for what we have seen? Any doubts in this? For the 4 test cases we have seen, correct? First one is a base unit of measure and other unit is a different. How the issuing material to the production department. Then we have seen the test case of the multiple PR items and few are required to convert the purchase order or all the material line item we are going to convert different vendors, different purchase order, correct? Then last third test case what we have seen, change the material description after the creation of the purchase order. Okay, so what we have seen that, so it will be applicable for the next purchasing order. And lastly, what we have seen, if we want to change the vendor address, okay, and after that how the system will be here for that. Okay, so whatever the changes what we have done into the vendor master, so it will be applicable for the all the existing purchase order there. Okay, so these 4 test cases today we have covered, and tomorrow whatever the remaining we are going to cover up. Okay, so that's it for today. Any doubts if you have, just you can ask me here. Okay, regarding the today's test conference. Wow. What we call